My children, gather around. Let me tell you a story of a woman who was exiled from her home a few years ago. She was a survivor. She survived the hardship she met outside the world, outside her home, outside her people. She survived it. She built a new home by the guidance of her gods, of her home, and made her settle in a new home. Sit down. Let me tell you the story. The story of a woman called Mama Aduka. And so, the story began. Once upon a time, she began. In the heart of a busy African village of Ekon, there lived Mama Aduka, who sold tasty bean cakes by the gate of a local primary school. Her kiosk was a small colorful spot with a rickety table and a pot of hot oil. It smelled so good with the aroma of frying bean cakes, which everyone called Akara. Mama Aduka sold her bean cakes when school was on and also on market days. People from all over knew her for her yummy Akara that got very nice and crispy in the morning sun. Children loved coming to her spot, clutching their coins, eager to get their hands on the golden brown treats wrapped in old newspaper. Every morning, as the sun begins to rise, with gentle rays casting a warm glow over the school gate, Mama Aduka's Akara stand came to life. Among the many Akara sellers, Mama Aduka's stand was the talk of the village, a delicious smell drawing people from all around. Positioned right at the center of the bustling market, Mama Aduka's table radiated a sense of comfort and the tantalizing promise of savory delights. Amidst the cheerful hustle and bustle, children running between kiosks, their laughter ringing out as they clutched their meager coins, their eyes eagerly fixed on the golden brown treats that awaited them. The mighty Iroko trees, ancient guardians of Ekon, shared their secrets with Mama Aduka. Their roots reached deep into the earth, tapping into hidden powers. With a lineage traced back to the first witch doctor, Mama Aduka had a special connection to them. She could hear the whispers of the Iroko, the stories of forgotten magic, lost chants, and the cost of using spells. With her skillful hands, she shaped bean paste into perfect balls, frying them until golden brown. And as the morning sun continued to rise higher, warming the village, Mama Aduka's pot bubbled with Akara. The scent of frying Akara mixed with the sweet smell of Iroko trees. Glancing around nervously, Mama Aduka made sure no one watched her spot for too long. She would bewitch selected batch of her bean cakes, infusing them with powerful spells to capture unsuspecting victims. These magical treats ended up in the hands of people chosen by Mama Aduka, weaving dark magic into their lives. The villagers knew her as the Akara Queen. Mama Aduka kept her real source of cooking skills a secret from everyone. With eager faces, the children would approach her stall. Mama Aduka greeted them with a warm smile, her eyes wrinkling at the edges. Using her wooden spoon, she scooped out fresh Akara from her bowl. The batter sizzled as it touches the hot oil, forming crispy balls that floated to the top. Then she goes ahead, adding a sprinkle of powdered Iroko. Mama Aduka gave it her final touch, a touch of magic. "One Akara, please," requested a young girl, her eyes filled with curiosity. Mama Aduka wrapped the golden balls in old newspaper and handed them over. As their fingers briefly touched, in that moment, the girl glimpsed beyond the Akara Queen's facade. She saw the ancient witch, the guardian of secrets and spells. "Remember," Mama Aduka whispered, her voice barely audible over the market noise. "Eat them while the sun still warms the earth. Let the magic unfold." The girl nodded her head, clutched her parcel tightly, as she vanished into the crowd. Mama Aduka watched her go, feeling a mix of pride and sadness in her heart. The Iroko trees rustled in approval, their whispers echoing through her soul. And so, Mama Aduka continued her dual existence, the Akara queen by day, the witch by night. Her kiosk remained a refuge for hungry souls. Yet those who tasted her Akara felt a subtle change, a warmth spreading from their stomachs to their fingertips, unaware they have carried Mama Aduka's magic within them. The same magic connecting her to the Irokos, to Ekon, and to the destiny beyond frying Akara. As the sun vanished in the evenings, Mama Aduka expressed her thanks to the ancient trees. They listened, their roots mingling with hers as she prepared to leave for the night. Under the cover of darkness, Mama Aduka gathered with her Coven members, a secretive group drawn by promises of power and prosperity. They will convene in secret, their faces hidden by shadows of darkness as they perform their rituals, with Mama Aduka leading, her Akara foiling their dark plans. But fate has a way of unraveling even the most tightly woven schemes, and Mama Aduka's reign of deception will soon come to a crashing halt. It began with whispers among the children, hushed tales of strange dreams and airy gatherings in the dead of night. One night, a young boy named Obi had a vivid dream of shadowy figures gathered in the dark, whispering incantations deep in the forest, where he saw Mama Aduka presiding over a circle of people. They were led with many other children. They led them into the gathering. They sat them down. Vials of blood were brought. Casting spells and terrible other things were being done. They were given these vials of blood to drink. And when they screamed, Mama Aduka came forth and told them to keep quiet and to drink. Terrified, Obi recounted his dream to his parents at dawn. Even with Obi's encounter that night, nothing was done about the incident. His mother cried out to the villagers and went to the king, yet nothing was done. Until one night, a young girl whose family had recently moved to the village, and the young girl demanded money from her parents the previous day to buy Akara because the other children were all buying Akara. When she slept that night, she had an encounter where she was being called, and she found herself with other school children in a gathering, and the gathering was headed by the Akara seller. When she screamed and her parents rushed to her room, she recounted her dream to her mother, and this was the first of its kind that the child has ever complained. So the young couples marched to the Akara woman's house and demanded to know why she appeared in their daughter's dream and the incidents which their daughter explained to them. They demanded to know why. But when Mama Aduka had nothing to say about it, the parents went mad with anger. They screamed and shouted, and the whole villagers started coming out. One by one, they came out. And then the couple narrated their daughter's story to them. The villagers now recalled that some days ago, Mama Obi, the popular businesswoman by the corner of the street, had also complained about her son's dream. This led to them moving forward to the king's palace. News spread quickly throughout the village, causing fear and suspicion. Worried parents went to the king asking for justice for their children and for Mama Aduka to answer for her terrible actions. Summoned before the king, she was escorted from her home by the king's guard all the way to the palace, where she faced questioning about her actions. Mama Aduka stood boldly, showing no fear. Her marks of innocence only come crumbling after so many people came to accuse her. Under the weight of accusations, as many villagers shared their frightening stories, the truth could no longer be ignored. In a quick and firm decision, Mama Aduka was sent away from the community. She was given 24 hours to pack up and leave the village. In the dead of night, Mama Aduka, not wanting to be banished by the king's men, packed up her little bag and left. Her once cherished shop left deserted in her absence. With her departure, the king called upon healers, spiritual leaders, priests, priestesses from far and near to help the children whose minds were clouded by the remnants of dark magic spawned by Mama Aduka's twisted deeds. On the day of the cleansing, the king summoned the children and spoke to them about the significance of their purification. These young children were selected to greet their healers in a grand ceremony where maidens danced, drums swayed, sing and heard reverberating in honor of the gods. The great men and women who would perform the secret marched along until they entered into the king's palace, where the rituals was to hold. In a realm where magic and mystery intertwined, a secret ritual unfolded. The cleansing of the children. The air hung heavy with the scent of burning incense. Candles danced upon the walls. Waters were brought forth to be blessed. The children, wide-eyed and innocent, stood in a circle, their small hands held together. Elders draped in embroidery robes chanted ancient verses. Their voices resonated through the chambers, invoking the spirits of protection. Maidens dancing and drummers beating continuously. Each child's forehead was anointed with holy water, a shimmering blessing that would cleanse them from any darkness within. They continued dancing. As the rituals continued, more incense was burned. The children clasped their hands in jubilation as they felt free. The purpose of this solemn rite was clear: to banish spirits, forces that may lurk in the shadows, seeking to corrupt the young souls. For these children were the future, the heirs to the throne, the keepers of tradition. Their purity was paramount, and the kingdom's fate rested upon their shoulders. And as the incense continued to twist its way upwards, the children closed their eyes. They felt a surge of energy, a warmth that flowed from their hearts to their fingertips. As they continued dancing, the incense continued to flow upwards. The birds flew, and the elders were happy with the outcome of the rituals. The elders whispered secrets into the wind, their words carried by unseen messengers. And in that secret moment, the darkness retreated, vanishing like mist before the morning sun. The kingdom was safe once more. The children's purity remained intact, their souls fortified against the darkness. They will grow, learn, and carry the legacy forward. And so, the enchantment continued, a timeless dance between the light and darkness woven into the very fabric of their existence. And as the last ember of incense burnt out, the elders smiled, their duty fulfilled. They stepped back, their eyes filled with pride, for the kingdom thrived, and the children, now cleansed and blessed, held the promises of a greater tomorrow. In huge whispers, the wind carried a tale beyond the castle walls. Generations will remember this day, the day where innocence triumphed and the forces were abated. And as the village began to heal from the scars of betrayal, a newfound sense of unity emerged, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of darkness. And though Mama Aduka's name will forever be tarnished by her deeds, her kiosk remains empty to this day, a silent reminder to the hidden truth that sometimes lies behind a friendly face. And though the Akara is missed, the villagers of Ekon have learned to cherish the safety and purity of their community above all else. And so, the old woman turned and looked at the children. With smiles in her face, as she recounted her incident, the path that led her to her new home and to these great children, the opportunity the gods gave her to continue living and serving them.